Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. Hope all of you out there are having a fantastic weekend. Coming your way, going to take a look at our Eagles winners and losers from Philadelphia's 16-13 win over the Baltimore Ravens in the Birds preseason opener. First, I want to thank everybody and all of the real ones for your support. We did a watch party for this game last night, and we started the 2024 campaign off with the bang. 55,000 people joined us throughout the night. We picked up 450 new subscribers. Our post-game show now up to 13,000 views and counting. So if you want daily coverage and you haven't subscribed or you didn't join us last night, hit that sub button right now for informative, entertaining, insightful, thought-provoking Eagles content right here on YouTube from yours truly, which involves you, the Eagles fan. Let's begin with our winners. And the top winner for me during the Eagles preseason debut, Quinan Mitchell in his NFL debut. Started on the outside for Philadelphia's defense. Vic Fangio electing to go with his starters. Nick Sirianni did not play his offensive starters because he said due to the rainfall all throughout the day, field was a little bit too slick. But we got a look and a glimpse as to what this Eagles defense can do under Vic Fangio and what Quinan Mitchell is capable of. So as I mentioned, started on the outside, got some reps in the slot, and he now has the inside track at the starting slot role as a rookie. That's everything that you want and envision when you take a player with the 22nd overall pick, that he can impact your football team as a young, talented, ascending player who's going to be a cost-controlled asset over the next 4 to 5 years, and he's going to be able to see the field early. And for him to start right away inside, he didn't even play that position at Toledo in college, and then down the road, or if an injury happens, or if he continues to play well and you want to move him to the outside, he can do that as well. Really good pass breakup on a 3rd and long in which he had good technique, made a play on the football. We're talking about a player in Quinan Mitchell here who had 44 pass breakups his last 2 years in college. So the ball skills are there. They translated into game one, and he just seems to have an instinctual feel. The game wasn't moving too fast for him. Really good debut for Quinan Mitchell. Now, he did drop that pass breakup, which should have been an interception. He talked about that after the game. Quote, "It was in the breadbasket, and I let it out. I should have brought it in." Darius Slay making a joke with Mitchell and KeAndre Ringo that they left money on the table. Nick Sirianni also added, "I wanted Quinyon to finish that. We're going to talk about that. I've seen him finish that, but it was a good breakup on a 3rd down to stop that drive." And for those who didn't watch it, forced a Justin Tucker field goal as the Ravens' offensive drive had halted there. What Mitchell needs to work on moving forward, he talked about this. James Bradbury talked about this. I know everybody is down on Bradbury, who, by the way, got the start at safety with C.J. Gardner-Johnson out. But he's played a lot of football in his life, and he was an All-Pro 2 years ago. He said when you play the slot nickel role, you have to work on communication because it's a very complex, difficult position in which communication is very key. So that's an area that Mitchell needs to work on, but he's a young player, so no surprise there. But so far, so good for Quinan Mitchell in game number 1, but in training camp, he's been really good. One-on-one reps against A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, inside, outside. He already has positional versatility. Winner number 2. Linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. He got extended run at linebacker, didn't start. Zach Bond and Devin White did, but then came in, had a tremendous game. 6 total tackles, 4 solo tackles, a sack, a quarterback hit, and he contributed on special teams, making a tackle there. And in the pre-draft process, I had said, I want the Eagles to draft Jeremiah Trotter Jr., not just because it's a cool story, because his pops was an All-Pro for those legendary Jim Johnson defenses in the early 2000s, but I like how he plays with great feel, great instincts, play speed, meaning the game doesn't move too quickly for him. He can diagnose and read plays as they develop. That was on display last night. He's also a smart and heady player because bloodlines. His dad was a tremendous linebacker in the National Football League. And at Clemson, you saw this ability, and just because he didn't test well in the pre-draft. That's why he lasted so long in the draft. So pre-draft, I was high on him, had him in a couple of my mocks a lot earlier than when he went in the draft. And then during the draft, I'm saying Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is still on the board. Eagles trade up for him. I think it could end up being a great value play for this Eagles team. I will say this morning, I'm sitting on my balcony, getting the day started, drinking some coffee, looking at some tape, doing some analysis, and just thinking about this game last night. And I'm watching some highlights of Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in his debut. It is wild to see a Trotter wearing number 54, playing linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles in 2024. Makes me feel old. And with Trotter, linebacker continues to be a very interesting position. I'd say stock up for Zach Bond and Devin White. Stock down a little bit on Neco Dean. We'll talk about him, but stock up for Jeremiah Trotter Jr. because he can make this team. Maybe he can see some snaps from time to time as a rookie. And overall, this rookie class got off to a good start last night against Baltimore. Winner number 3, running back Will Shipley. Ran with nice and surprising physicality and toughness. Has balance, vision, power, patience. Let some things develop. And caught a screen pass for a touchdown on a little dump off into the flat from Kenny Pickett. I love the play design and just the overall offensive thinking from Kellen Moore on that play. Right side of the line of scrimmage. He stacked it up with a lot of size. On that side, you had Grant Calcaterra, CJ Uzama, and Johnny Wilson at 6'6". Eagles fake the pitch from Pickett to Shipley. Pickett then rolls out to the right and throws to that beefed up side. And Will Shipley, poor man's Christian McCaffrey is kind of what I likened him to when he played ball at Clemson. He was a highly touted recruit for Dabo Swinney, and he's going to be a good rotational back who I think can see snaps as well as a rookie. Winner number 4, cornerback KeAndre Ringo. Led the team with 2 pass breakups, one on a long ball near sideline before recess, the other before that in the end zone. Just a really good rep from him. Kept the receiver, Keith Kirkwood, Temple legend, right in front of him. Had position, was able to dislodge the football in that PBU in the end zone. Might be a backup to start the year because Isaiah Rodgers and Darius Slay might start on the outside. Maybe Quinan Mitchell in that equation. But even if KeAndre Ringo is a backup, it's not because of him playing poorly up to this point. The Eagles are just very deep at the cornerback spot. Winner number 5, Mekhi Becton. The Eagles signed him, the former first-round pick by the Jets, who has played well at times, but injuries, being out of shape, bad offense, cut that Jets tenure short. But he signs with Philadelphia as a backup swing tackle. And now, with this massive size, the Eagles started to experiment him on the interior at guard. In the spring, Landon Dickerson was out, excused absence during mandatory minicamp. This summer, Tyler Steen gets hurt. So Mekhi Becton goes from left guard to right guard. He plays really well. He gets the start last night ahead of Tyler Steen and looks to have the inside track at the starting role. And this is a massive guard who maybe is a better guard at the NFL level as compared to tackle, and the Eagles get him at a very good going rate. Other solid performances that I want to highlight here. I thought a lot of the running backs looked good last night. In addition to Will Shipley, Lou Nichols, Ty Davis-Price really impressed me. Kendall Milton at the running back spot ran with some pop, had a couple of key runs late for some big conversions and big chunks. Tanner McKee, I know his numbers weren't great, but he marched the Eagles offense right down the field, and the seam ball that he threw, which was dropped, was an excellent throw right into the teeth of that Ravens defense. And then Nolan Smith played deep into the game, but had a sack, and I really like the hustle and pursuit that he showed on some plays where he was away from the ball and made a play on the football. I also want to talk about Britton Covey here. Had a great punt return over the last year and a half statistically and with the eye test. He's been one of the best punt returners in the game. Also had a couple of catches for some big conversions, and I just like the skill set, the possession-like wide receiver that he could pose out of the slot for this Eagles offense. Because wide receiver 3 outside of A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith, it's still up for grabs, and a couple of players are in the mix there. And if Covey can contribute offensively and on special teams, just has more value for this ball club. We're going to get to our losers coming up around the corner. First, want to thank Game Time for making today's Philadelphia Eagles now possible. Since I was 4 or 5 years old, I've fallen in love with sports, and I love how sports bring people of all walks of life together, regardless of skin color, creed, sex, relationship preferences, whatever, man. You go to a sporting event and the Eagles score a touchdown, regardless of what people look like around you, you're giving them a high five, you're cheering together. It's really cool how sports, food, music can bring people of all walks of life together, and going to games is a great memory. That's why you got to download the Game Time app, because you can put together those memories, you can high five and chop it up with fellow Eagles fans, you can celebrate the highs, you can go through the heartbreaks and the lows together, and with the Game Time app, you put together those experiences and you can save money when you use the code CHATSPORTS. Hot deals that Game Time has to offer, including flash deals and zone deals. They specialize in last-minute tickets. So the closer that you get to the event, the more that the price drops on those tickets, so you can save money and have a great time. So use the code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Terms apply. First purchase only. Download the app, create an account, use that code, and you are well on your way to balling out and living it up at an Eagles game or any type of concert, comedy show, or theater event. Now we segue to our losers here. Loser number one is Tyler Steen, because Mekhi Becton got the start over the former third-round pick from 2 drafts ago, and Tyler Steen also got called for a hold. So not only is Mekhi Becton beating him out and got the start ahead of him, he's performing and playing better, which is why Becton has that inside track at the starting right guard role. Loser number 2, also along the offensive line, is Matt Hennessy. He does have some positional versatility. He can play center. He can play guard. Went to Temple University, smart player, Ivy League recruit when he was in high school. But he played right guard last night and had to play deep into the game, and I don't think he necessarily played all that well. It's not really a good sign that he had to play that deep at a deep position. Also got whistled for a penalty. I thought he got pushed around a little bit on the interior. Has to play better against the New England Patriots in preseason game number 2 coming up on Thursday night. We'll do a watch party for that game. Loser number 3, Ainia Smith. He looked small. He played slow. Was slow, didn't wow me at all as a punt returner, couldn't really make anything happen. Whether it was vertical speed or lateral speed, he struggled to gain separation, make people miss, and just didn't really look the part. I just don't see it with Ainia Smith. And this is my concern when the Eagles drafted him, that he's 5'9", 5'10", and ran a 4.5 40-yard dash. Usually, when you have a smaller player, they have to have short burst, quickness, athleticism, and speed. He tested poorly pre-draft, and I thought it showed against Baltimore on Friday night. Loser number 4, Nakobe Dean. Not necessarily because he played poorly, but because Zach Baun got the start alongside Devin White, so it looks as though Zach Baun has unseated Nakobe Dean as one of the 2 starting off-ball linebackers for this team, but Jeremiah Trotter Jr. also popped. So if the Eagles suffer an injury at linebacker to either Baun or White, who do they go to next in that linebacker rotation? Will it now be Trotter ahead of Dean? Interesting to note, and we'll continue to monitor that. Loser number 5 is Tyler Hall, slot corner. Bad missed tackle to turn a 4th down stop into a 1st down conversion, and he's losing slot snaps. Quinan Mitchell looks to have the inside track at that starting slot nickel role. You have Avonte Maddox, who's a better backup, in the slot, who played safety last night compared to Tyler Hall. And then the lone opportunity that he really had to make a stamp on this game and put a stamp on this game, he missed that opportunity, and the Eagles are very deep at corner, and this is without Cooper DeJean being active right now. He's missed all of training camp. He could play the slot and had been playing the slot going back to the spring. So who is your biggest winner and loser from Eagles Ravens? Let me know down in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Thanks for supporting us on this channel. Thanks for tuning in to our watch party as well as this show here today, and we'll catch you next time. Go Birds.